The noon sun bore down on the Arizona frontier like a branding iron on Hyda's Caleb rider, a quiet cowboy known more for his silence than his gun, guided his weary horse along the narrow trail, tracing the cool running, 30 river. He had come seeking nothing more than water and a moment of stillness, but fate had a way of finding men when they least expected it. As he rounded a bend, he saw something that made him tighten the reins. A young Apache girl, no older than 15, sitting alone at the river's edge with her knees pulled tight to her chest, and her face buried in her hands as muffled sobs shook her small frame. Caleb didn't move at first. He knew enough about the land and its tensions to understand that an Apache child found alone was never really alone. Yet the sorrow in her trembling shoulders cut through every caution he had ever learned. Finally, he slid from the saddle and approached slowly, hands empty, voice soft. "You all right there, miss?" The girl jerked up, fear flashing across her tear-streaked face. But there was something else, trust trying to bloom through terror. Her name, he learned after a long silence, was Tala, meaning wolf in her tongue. She spoke broken English, but her pain needed no translation. Her younger brother had gone missing 2 nights prior, taken, she believed, by a band of outlaws known for raiding isolated camps. No warrior from her tribe had found a trace. Caleb felt something shift inside him, something ancient and heavy, the kind of feeling that made a man step toward danger instead of away. He told himself he wasn't responsible, that he had no stake in Apache matters, yet as Tala's voice cracked, describing the last moment she'd seen her brother, Caleb felt the frontier wind whisper a truth. His heart already knew he couldn't walk away. "I'll help you find him," he said, surprising even himself. Tala stared at him as though he'd offered her a piece of the sun. Thus began the unlikely bond between a weather-worn cowboy and a grieving Apache girl, a bond that would pull them deep into outlaw territory, force Caleb to confront ghosts he'd buried long ago, and set into motion a series of events that would change the trajectory of his life forever. Their journey started with that promise by the river, where a cowboy's simple act of kindness would soon become the spark of legend. And if you're ready to follow this story deeper into the heart of danger, loyalty, and fate itself, make sure you subscribe, because what happens next is where the real ride begins. Dawn crept over the Red Canyon cliffs in long, bruised streaks of purple and rust as Caleb and Tala made their way through the rugged expanse known to settlers as Devil's Throat, a place whispered about in saloons and campfires as the hideout of the vicious Black Spur Gang. The air grew colder the deeper they traveled, as though the canyon itself exhaled the memories of the cruelty and fear soaked into its stone. Caleb kept Tala close, knowing every shadow might conceal a rifle barrel or a bandit waiting for a chance to earn blood money. As they pressed forward, Tala told him more about her brother, little Noden, a boy with a spirit too, brave for his size and a habit of wandering too far from camp in search of adventure. Caleb listened, feeling a strange ache he hadn't felt since the war, an ache tied to someone he never thought he'd fight for. Hours passed, and as they climbed a narrow ridge, Caleb spotted smoke curling from a hollow in the cliffs. Instinct told him they were close, too close. They moved like ghosts, slipping between boulders and thorn brush, until voices echoed faintly through the canyon, rough, drunken voices celebrating their latest capture. When Caleb peered over the ridge, he saw them, 6 outlaws around a fire, and tied to a post beside them, bruised but alive, was Noden. Tala stifled a cry, but Caleb steadied her, whispering a plan that rode the edge between bravery and madness. Under cover of dusk, they crept down the slope, Caleb keeping his revolver holstered until the last possible second, knowing one wrong move could get the boy killed. When the moment came, it came like lightning. Caleb burst from the shadows, tackling the nearest outlaw while Tala darted toward her brother. Chaos roared across the camp. Gunshots cracked through the canyon, ricocheting off stone, spooking ravens into the sky. Caleb fought with the raw desperation of a man who'd sworn not to lose another innocent life. Every memory of the war, every boy too young to die, fueled his strength. In the end, the outlaws fled or fell, and Caleb, bruised and breathless, helped Tala free her brother. The way she looked at him, then, like he'd become something larger than a man, struck him deeper than any bullet could. As they led Noden safely out of Devil's Throat, Caleb knew the world had changed. He wasn't just a drifting cowboy anymore. He was part of something bigger, something that would shape the rest of his days. And if you've been riding with this story so far, there's more to come, more danger, more heart, more truth carved into the unforgiving frontier. So hit that subscribe button and stay with the journey, because legends are born from moments just like this one.